Hello everyone. Previously we had discussed on the operations part, right? So operations concept. So today we'll be discussing on the branching topic. So let's get into the definition part here. So what does definition part say here? Uh, Branching lets the program choose different paths using the conditions, right? So we can just go with the if, elif or else, right? So again, branching lets the program choose different paths using the conditions, whether it may be if, elif and else, right? So let's go with a very simple example. Before getting into the example, let me tell you one thing. So we can perform different actions based on the conditions using branching statement, sorry. So we can perform different actions based on the conditions using branching statements. Let's get into the definition part here. Let's get into the example part here. So let me go with a variable score and let me assign this one to the value 75, right? So here let me go with a simple if condition. So basically accordingly with the definition, what it says, it lets the program choose different paths using the conditions, right? So we'll be making use of the conditions quite obviously. If score is greater than 90, what shall I print? Let me go with print excellent. Print excellent, right? So let me go with elif uh, if score is greater than 60. So let me print something, man. Here, what shall I print? Let me print good. Let me print good. So this is fine. And finally, let me go with else. Means if it is less than 60, then let's go with print not so good. Not so good. Right. So this is the simple example. This is the simple example of branching, right? So here we have given the score 75. So what we need to get as output, the output that we need to get here is good, right? So it falls between the 60 to 90 basically, right? So 75 we have called. So the output that we need to get here is good. So let's check the same here. Let me go with Python. So let me copy the file name here. Just give me a second. Dot py, right? So here we are getting the output true. So here if I give 99, then we have to get the output excellent. So if I give 55 here, so we need to get the output not so good. Not so good, right? So this one I'm speaking of not so good. So this is fine, right? So we are getting the correct output. We are getting the correct output, right? So this is it for the branching part. This is it for the branching. Basically it allows or it lets the program choose different paths using the conditions. It may be if, elif, else, right? So one more thing I said, that we can perform different actions based on the conditions using the branching statements, right? So that one you have to keep in mind. So let me summarize whatever we have learned so far, right? So branching, it allows decision making in Python, guiding the code execution based on certain conditions. Again, branching allows decision making in Python, guiding code execution based on certain conditions that we give, right? So based on certain conditions that we give, right? So this is it for the branching part. So this is it for the branching part, right? So next we'll be discussing on the sorting. So we are left with only few topics, 3 or 4 topics for the basic concepts. So we'll finish it off basic concepts. Next what we will do, after finishing of this one basic concepts, we will be moving on with basically let's move on with the oops concepts, right? So after we are done with the oops concepts, we will be going with the some advanced concepts, right? So 15 to 20, we haven't discussed on iterators, we haven't discussed on closures and lexical scoping, we haven't discussed on context management, right? So we haven't discussed this one multi-threading and multi-processing in detail. These things we haven't discussed, right? So this is the basic part. So we will be finishing, let's finish it off uh, very soon. So we are left with some 3 to 4 topics. We are left with some 3 to 4 topics. So we'll finish it off. Then we will go with the oops in Python. So we haven't discussed classes, objects, methods, overriding, so inheritance, data hiding, so exception handling. So these things we'll be discussing in detail within the oops. And as I've said, after oops concepts, we'll be discussing on the advanced topics, right? So we haven't discussed the advanced topics, so we'll be discussing some advanced topics that is required basically, right? So that is required. After that, after discussing the advanced concepts, so we will be going with the Python design patterns, right? So basically we have discussed the design patterns already in the javascript. In the javascript we will be discussing that one in the java as well. We'll be discussing on the java as well. Currently I'm solving the problems on the java. Once I'm done with the solving some 100 problems in the Codeforces, once I'm done with solving some 100 problems in the Codeforces, we'll be doing everything in the java as well. So design patterns will be going with the design patterns in java. So we will be discussing about some important algorithms that we have to know at any cost. That also we'll do. So we will be going with some principles, solid principles, YAGNI. So these things we will be doing in java as well. So for the python, what we'll be doing after the advanced and the oops concepts, we'll be going with the design patterns. Some of the design patterns I can mention here: singleton, factory, this strategy, observer. We have seen this one in the javascript, right? So we have already seen this one in the javascript, so this will be easier. So all we have to do is we have to know the syntax in the python. We have to know the syntax in the python to implement, right? So python syntax is very easy, man. Comparatively to the java and javascript, python syntax is extremely easy, right? uh, you don't have to write the code that much at all, right? So it is known for its simplicity. It is known for the simplicity itself, right? Simplicity as well as the readability. So we'll be going with a Python design patterns. So whether it may be singleton, factory, command, facade, prototype. So these are some of the patterns. And finally, we'll be going with the data structures and Python. Some of the data structures you have to know. So in the future, I may be working on this one, Django, right? So at any cost, we will be knowing certain this one important data structures. You have to know the data structures at any cost. You have to know the data structures at any cost. So we'll finish it off with the final topic, data structures. So around so overall we'll be going with 100 topics, around 100 topics, or correctly 100 topics. That's what I'm thinking of. So first concept we'll be finishing tomorrow. I'll finish it off with the this one, what do we call, basic concepts, right? So next tomorrow we'll start with the oops concepts as well, oops concepts as well, right? So this is it. This is what I'm thinking of basically. For now, I hope the branching concept is completely clear. Branching topic is completely clear, right? So next we will be discussing on the sorting. As I've said, next we'll be discussing on the sorting. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.